Hi, everybody. That time again. Welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric, Chad, and Lauren with you today.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching us on WFOY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFOY News 2 app. We're also live on Facebook, so let us know that you're here.
Do you all have a favorite way to describe Thursday, like Friday Junior?
Friday Eve.
I like Friday Eve. Yep.
Friday
Okay,
Eve.
all right. I like them all because it means Friday is tomorrow,
Yes.
right? All right, let's top off your 4 to 5 roundup here. First up today, Eden police are investigating a deadly triple shooting. They say it happened last night at a home on Morgan Road. One person died there, 2 others were hurt. We met a neighbor who says he saw it all unfold.
It was like six or eight of them coming up the driveway, and all of them had guns shooting behind them. They went up the driveway, and then they come running down the driveway shooting behind them.
Police say they spent hours questioning people overnight. It's not clear whether they've arrested a suspect. We will keep you posted. Police are working to identify remains they found in Winston-Salem. Officers say they found a woman's body at Salem Lake. We don't know the identity of the woman or the circumstances surrounding her death. The Rockingham County Sheriff's Office says it recovered enough fentanyl to kill 139,000 people, more than the county's population. Deputies seized the drugs last week from a home in Ruffin. Aside from the fentanyl, deputies say they also found heroin and crack cocaine. They arrested 2 men who now face several charges, including drug trafficking.
Turning now to the spread of COVID in the Triad. Right now, we're waiting for new transmission maps from the CDC. At last check, Rockingham and Caswell are the only counties without a high level of spread. Despite the rise in cases, there are many people who've managed to never contract COVID. Why is that? Let's connect the dots.
Health experts say your time might be running out if you've been able to avoid COVID this long. Let's connect the dots. Researchers are narrowing in on why 30% of Americans have been able to avoid the virus. Experts say several factors are at hand. One of them could be linked to genetics. Researchers say certain genes reduce the chances of the virus entering the body. But that's not all. Food allergies and asthma could also protect your body from infection. But now doctors say the BA.5 subvariant could infect a lot more people. Experts believe that's because the subvariant can get through vaccine protection. Health experts say if you are still holding out, the best protection against the virus are boosters and masks. And that is connecting the dots.
The other big national story we are following today, inflation, but help could be on the way. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia says he now supports what's called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, a bill meant to offset rising costs and fight climate change. President Biden says the bill's passing would be historic. Democrats say they needed Manchin's support to get this bill through the Senate.
The rising cost of gas, groceries, and everyday items can be overwhelming. In fact, a recent survey by the American Psychological Association found nearly 90% of Americans say inflation caused a significant level of stress. Dr. Andrew Farah is a psychiatrist with Novant Health. He says the first rule when it comes to anxiety and stress is not to panic.
And don't do things that are just out of desperation, like open another credit card or take out a high interest loan or start pawning things, doing things that would seem desperate. Just take a step back before you do something like that, and don't make any major life decisions while you're under that type of stress.
Dr. Ferris says financial stress can be managed like any other form of stress. He says it's important to have a good exercise routine, avoid caffeine or things that might make you more nervous. Don't stop any medication you're on without talking to your doctor, and seek professional help if the anxiety becomes more severe.
And then the hardest thing to do is sort of a cognitive retraining where you turn all that restless energy and all that anxiety into productive thought and planning. So if you can, instead of spinning your wheels worrying, if you could spend that mental energy actually taking concrete steps to alleviate some of the burden.
To help relieve some of the stress, Dr. Farah also recommends making a budget and reaching out to a financial advisor for help. I did ask you on my Facebook page, how is inflation impacting your mental health? Maddie Sheely says, not at all. This too shall pass. Sean Sigler wrote, sleepless nights worrying about paying bills. Anthony Davis says, it's making me stronger and more self-sufficient. And then Marlon Smith says, it makes me trust God because he is my source. A lot of folks had something similar to that.
I mean, it's the type of thing where there's nothing we can do to stop it. You know what I mean? The government has to help take care of that. So it's just time to pull that belt tighter, I think, for a while. And a lot of people are doing second jobs.
A lot of interesting perspectives kind of run the gamut of how everybody is feeling. Fortunately for me, I mean, I don't have any kids. And I feel like I'm in a financially stable situation, so it's not impacting me as much as it's impacting someone who really is living paycheck to paycheck, and any extra expense is really a strain on the budget.
For me, it's just made me realize I can't really live my life the way I might have been living it 6 months ago. I know for me personally, my rent went up a couple $100s. So that's a big, lifestyle change. So I've had to cut back on certain things, like maybe I don't eat out 3 days a week. Maybe I just eat out 1 day a week, or maybe I can cut back here and there. Maybe I can get my toes done, but not get my, fingernails done. So, but like you said, some people have really definitely been impacted more than, other people.
It makes you, when you actually look at what you spend, and some people don't, they just don't. But if you stop and take the time, and we don't do it a lot, but once probably every 6 months, we'll just look and be like, oh my gosh, like if you categorize it, if you have those programs or apps that can do that, it's amazing. And for us, it's eating out. That's our biggest waste of money.
Same here. I really like how he says just don't panic and make some rash decision. Just kind of take a step back and just, breathe and say, okay, what can I do to maybe work my way around this?
When all of us go out to eat, that's 6 of us. I just stop
Forget
by
about it.
Wells Fargo on the way.
Right?
Oh,
I'm sure, I
gosh.
can't even imagine what your weekly budget is when school is in session and then when it's not in session.
So when the twins are home, like from college now, our food budget goes up. There was at one point it was going up about $400 a month.
Oh goodness!
And
buying groceries or
that's
eating
groceries.
out?
Oh no, eating out is, we have to cut that way back.
Because
they eat like 4 adult grown men because they'll be 20 next month.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it's a big mess. All right, you won't see Chilton's eating out a whole lot as a big group. Let's see what's happening with the forecast. All right, so we're looking at a couple of scattered showers and storms, but not as widespread as the last couple of nights. So we could use a little bit of a break. I know some of you want that rain because of it. You know how it is. It's hit or miss. So many people send us emails saying, why does it rain 2 streets over and not at my house? That's summer in North Carolina. 89 in Greensboro, 91 in Winston-Salem and High Point. Burlington, you're at 93. Asheboro, 94 degrees. And Troy in Montgomery County was showing up in the upper 90s today, a scorcher. Tonight's low, 73. This is kind of a repeat of yesterday. Partly cloudy, muggy tonight, then tomorrow a mix of sun and clouds. Again, it's summer. We get a late day scattered shower or storm almost every day. Biggest area of rain now popping up in northern Davidson County. We'll keep the radar looping here so you can see. Went through Winston-Salem a short time ago. High Point, you're right in line for that in the next few minutes, actually, with some lightning around the Arcadia area just to the north of Lexington. And if you're in Lexington, that rain will move into your backyards in about 15 minutes or so as well. Zooming out to a wider shot, you can see there's more back behind this. Sometimes the mountains tend to eat up some of the showers. When that rain comes over the mountains, we'll get more rain on the other side of the mountains than we will on this, and we get that sinking motion on our side, and that sort of squelches out some of the showers. But we'll still see the chance of this as we head into the night tonight, so don't put that umbrella up just yet. Looking for that cold front now. That'll help us with some rain chances. It kind of stalls out over us by the time we get to the weekend, or at least slower moving, so it may hang around for Saturday and Sunday. Not a great thing for us because that brings our rain chances up. But when you look at it on the 7-day, we'll take it. Some of your yards need this. 40% chance of late day showers. That will be on Friday afternoon. 50 to 60% chance for your Saturday, Sunday, but cooler highs in the mid 80s, not bad at 86. Then we go upper 80s Monday, Tuesday. Rain chances back to normal. In fact, a little drier the second half of next week. Tuesday, a 30% chance, a high of 89. Wednesday and Thursday, 2 in 10 chance with highs in the low 90s.
Happening right now, our summer blood drive. We teamed up with the American Red Cross to collect donations at Piedmont Hall in Greensboro. This is a live look inside Piedmont Hall right now. You see all those tables and chairs lined up with people donating pints of blood. They're taking walk-ins or appointments until 6 p.m. In the next half hour, we'll check in with Tanya Rivera, who's out there today. And if for some reason you don't like donating blood, think about all the free snacks you get afterward. That's always my favorite part. We'll be right back. You felt it. We have been pushing 90 degrees most days over the past couple of weeks. The heat is impacting people really all across the country.
Mother Nature is turning up the heat, but she also is turning out the lights. WFNY News 2's Megan Malaris verifies the power struggle every summer.
This summer is a scorcher. The dog days are dragging on with record-setting heat, threatening a lot more disarray than just discomfort. Viewer AJ said the power went out at his workplace recently and no one could figure out why. He asked, is it true heat can cause power outages? Our sources are the North Carolina State Cooperative Extension, American Society of Civil Engineers, the independent science research nonprofit Climate Central, and Duke Energy Representative Jeff Brooks, who confirm it's true.
As the heat increases, electric use goes up because of air conditioning and other types of electric use, and that puts more and more strain on the system. Now, the grid is a machine, right? It's designed to work in extreme conditions. It can perform well in challenging conditions, but like any piece of equipment, the hotter it gets, the less efficient it operates. And so you will see lines actually begin to sag a little bit in some cases, and that's the effect of gravity and the energy that's flowing through those lines as it pulls down to the earth.
The American Society of Civil Engineers gave the U.S. electrical grid a C- rating. The engineers warned our electricity, quote, depends on an aging and complex network. Even if states go greener with zero carbon by 2050, grids still could have weather problems. Heat could reduce wind speeds, meaning minimal wind power, and drought could reduce water supplies for hydroelectric dams. But Brooks said energy companies are planning ahead.
You think about storms, we have to have a system that can recover quickly from those types of disruptions. And that same technology, what's great about it is it's also the same technology that enables that transition to cleaner energy. So we're making the grid more resilient and we're making it cleaner at the same time.
This chart from Climate Central shows since 2000, the U.S. has experienced a 67% increase in weather-related events, and those outages cost the economy an estimated $18 to $33 billion a year. So in conclusion, yes, it's true, heat can cause power outages, but the link is generally indirect when more usage puts more strain on the system. Brooks acknowledged comfort is individualistic, but it takes a collective effort to preserve the grid. He suggested bumping up the AC temperature and running ceiling fans in the summer. He acknowledged energy companies do have contingency plans for planned outages, or rolling blackouts as they're called, but they're a last resort. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like it like 68
Me too.
degrees in my house. I don't know if I could bump it up any higher.
Some people disagree with me. I think Chad might disagree with me on this, but I'd rather, if my power has to go out when it's very cold or very hot, I'd rather it go out when it's very cold, because I can always put on jackets or close the door, something, but you can't get any cooler in the summer.
You can only take but so much off.
Right.
I've been curious about, how we've been talking about power outages, and oftentimes in the summer we'll hear about outages in Texas, because like rolling blackouts because of the heat. What I don't understand is, why doesn't that happen in Arizona, where it's a blazing 125 degrees?
I'll bet it's something to do with the humidity level and the dry, because
okay.
that's the only thing I can think of from a weather standpoint as to why because he did say that the heat and the moisture is not good for the equipment, but if it's drier, maybe that's, I don't know, that's a guess. But.
Or maybe they've got all their lines underground because it's always been hot there.
Yeah, maybe.
That makes sense. So far this summer, have you all experienced any power outages?
Not yet.
Nope.
Yeah, not yet. Knock on wood.
Because I can't stand. I know I was joking, because Megan is probably the most cold-natured person I've ever. I mean, cold-natured. She loves heat. Loves it. And so they put her desk right under an air conditioning vent for a long time, and that poor girl would sit there with Eskimo jackets on, like the Arctic fleece or something, in the middle of summer. So it's funny that she's talking about that. I pick on her about that all the time.
What's the perfect temperature for sleeping on the AC?
I told you 68. Sometimes I might even play around 65.
Oh, wow. You do like.
And I know it costs some money, but I have to be comfortable. I just do.
I'd say 68 to 70 is where we'll keep it at night. Yeah.
I'm 67 when I sleep, and then 70 if I'm actually there.
Okay.
And awake.
So medically, the perfect temperature for the human body is 72. They say that's the optimal temperature for our whatever. That's like an average of how the body processes things and everything, 72.
Well, I grew up in Wisconsin in the tundra, so my temperature is a couple degrees lower than that.
You're happier down here,
Yes,
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're coming right back. you know, we say the heat continues, and if you're in the southern parts of the Piedmont, yes, very hot for you there. But for a lot of folks, these 90 to 92 degree temperatures aren't that far from where we should be. The normal high this time of the year is 88, and we're looking at 89 in Greensboro. By the way, this is not correct. That's something going on there in Winston-Salem with that instrumentation. It is not 102. 89 in High Point, 93 in Burlington. But look, if you look south, and these are believable temperatures with Pinehurst at 96 and Troy in the upper 90s. It's very hot to the south, and to the north a little bit better, more tolerable. 73 and partly cloudy, muggy tonight. By the way, a lot of those temperatures in the mid to upper 80s because they had a little rain. There's some showers moving through. Show you the radar next. 90 tomorrow, sun and clouds with late day storms. Here's what it looks like now. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I did see a severe thunderstorm warning, but that is well to the east. That's out of our viewing area. But for right now, the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity is from Lexington up through Arcadia and to the southern parts of Forsyth County. A little bit developing too. You can see that moving through High Point. High Point, that rain is going to get heavier before it gets lighter, that's for sure. We'll see that a little bit. Looking across the state though, we have more back to the west, just a matter of how much of that will make it over the mountains and kind of reorganize itself into thunderstorms. So just keep an eye out for that. They will be very isolated and scattered as we head into the night. Better rain chance as we go into Friday, Saturday, and unfortunately for the whole weekend because of that cold front, which kind of parks itself almost horizontal there on its axis over the state. And that'll bring the rain chances up, we think, probably about anywhere from a 40 to a 60% chance, depending on which day you're looking at for your weekend. Let's take a peek at that. Here's your 7-day forecast. 90 degrees for your Friday. That's a 40% chance of late day storms. All of these are late day. 50 to 60% for Saturday, Sunday with high temperatures down to 86. Then we're back to normal, 88 on Monday with a 50-50 shot of late day rain. Start to dry out a little bit though. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're looking at a 20 to 30%. That's a little bit on the low end for this time of the year. Again, late day showers if we get them. 89 on Tuesday, mostly dry though and hot again, 90 and 91 for Wednesday and Thursday. Words aren't. Well, we've gone down this road before on the 4 to 5, haven't we? Strange foods, because it's a rule. We have to talk about food at some point in this hour. All right, Richard Petty had a post that had a lot of people talking. The King shared his favorite sandwich with us on social media. It is mayonnaise and black pepper. So we wanted to find out if anybody else had tried this interesting combination. First of all, look at the amount of black pepper on that sandwich. I know. A lot, that's a lot. People were saying everything to us, basically, and saying that some of them said they couldn't stand that. Other ones said they just tried it and said, and then one person said, throw a tomato on that and now you got something. I would try that because I am a pepper fiend, I will say that. But we talked about this when we were kids.
I loved mayo sandwiches
Yep.
when I was a kid. I would get the Wonder Bread and I would get the mayo that you could squeeze,
Yep.
and I would eat it. But Mr. Petty, you were doing a little too much with that
That's a
pepper.
lot of
That is
pepper
a
on
lot
it.
of pepper. I mean, is that even healthy?
I would try that though. I mean, that's a lot.
Here's
That's
the question.
too
Though.
much.
Here's the question about pepper, and that's the reason I like pepper so much is because is it like fat free? I mean, what are
Yeah,
the,
or is
what
it
are the
what?
nutrition
How
facts?
how does it impact your like cholesterol? Or like I don't
it's
know.
fat, and mayonnaise is fatty, not
Right,
pepper.
But what about
yeah.
the pepper?
I don't think pepper
Oh,
is
I guess
anything.
it's not unhealthy then.
I'm kind of surprised that he didn't say Duke's mayonnaise. I mean, is he
Yes.
just like talking about any kind of mayonnaise?
See, for me, if I'm doing that, it's got to be like Hellman's or normal kind of stuff.
That's what I
not-
like too.
So I don't like Duke's mayonnaise on any sandwich except a banana mayonnaise sandwich. For some reason.
Banana
Yes,
mayonnaise.
I ate that too
I've
as a
heard
kid.
people say that that's a combination. Okay, explain it to me.
All right,
So
Because
it sounds weird.
I never had it until I moved to Greensboro.
Oh,
because I
really?
never even knew about
But
it.
you like it?
So this must be a
did
Triad
We did
thing.
like a 2 test on it. I think it's I don't know if it's North Carolina or a Southern thing, but yeah, you literally just cut up bananas.
Discs. Yeah.
And put them on on bread and with mayonnaise. And sometimes you can like,
I love
Add
that.
grill
peanut
the
butter, I
bread.
feel like I've heard people say too.
I've heard peanut butter
That's
and
like
banana
Elvis.
sandwiches.
And mayonnaise.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. But I've done mayonnaise and banana sandwich, and I loved that as a kid.
It was better, a lot better than I thought it would be. I was
Okay,
nervous.
maybe
to
I'll
try
give
it.
that a try.
But it's Duke's is the key to that one, I think, because
Absolutely.
it tastes different than a regular mayonnaise.
What's the other one that's not mayonnaise but it's the whip?
Not
Miracle Whip?
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip,
Some
yep.
people don't like Miracle Whip. I think it tastes
I don't
pretty good.
like marshmallows, so that's kind of on
Oh.
the same line for me.
In Wisconsin, you're either one or the other. You actually like mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know the difference.
I think they
Oh, wait a
taste kind
minute.
of the same. Oh yeah, when you said marshmallows, I
I'm
was
thinking
like, what are you
I'm thinking of the stuff they put on.
you let
like-
it
Is
have
this
a pass.
yeah, I was like, maybe this is another
Well,
Triad
no, I'm
tradition
thinking of the
that I'm
sweet
not
stuff that's like
familiar
fluff. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
know what you're talking. It is
That's
called
what I was-
fluff.
What
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Our producer, what did she say?
She said 15 seconds.
Oh, I thought you were telling me what it was.
Rap. All right, we gotta go.
I gotta
we'll be
look
right
this
back.
up now. Google it.
They must have gotten a break. This is about a minute behind as I discovered earlier today.
Hey, giving you a mic check. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together with my s'mores.
Hold on, sir. My fault. Yeah, I can hear you. Brad? Brad, can you hear me, Brad? Brad, can you hear me, Brad? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Another half an hour ahead. Eric Chilton with you. Chad Silber over here. That's Lauren Coleman. We're all here.
Hey, everybody. If you're on Facebook, join the conversation. We're having a lot of fun over there talking about some of our favorite food combinations.
Like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Or Hellmann's,
Miracle Whip.
Yes.
or
Not
Miracle
fluff.
Whip, or Duke's, or whatever. You want to join the conversation, you should do it because it's a pretty good one. You know what's also pretty good this time of year? Because training camp is underway for the Carolina Panthers. Practices are open to the public so fans can get their first glimpse of the new team. They'll notice the helmets look a lot different this time around, like they've got extra padding on the outside. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey found out why.
Yeah, guys, these padded covers you see here are called Guardian caps. They go over the helmet and are considered an extra layer of protection for the players. And according to Guardian Cap and the NFL's chief medical officer, this padding can drastically reduce the forces created when helmets collide. And the hope is to minimize future brain damage.
The basic principle is by providing an extra layer of foam and padding, it's reducing some of the force that would get transmitted through the helmet if an impact occurred. We know that there's always going to be some head contact in sports. Players hit the ground or inadvertently hit each other. So what we're really aiming to do here is to reduce that force that's transmitted through the helmet to the player's brain, which is ultimately going to result in a higher degree of safety for the player.
The NFL has mandated the Guardian cap from the beginning of training camp through the second week of the preseason for some position groups. But they're not alone. Multiple colleges in our state use them as well, such as App State, UNC Charlotte, and North Carolina Central. Some high schools want them too. Dudley head coach Stephen Davis says he'd like to see them required for Pee Wee players all the way through the pros.
I think the Guardians are great, and I'm talking about for all levels, because you reduce the contact. If you can do something that reduces the risk of injuries, let's do it.
At this point, there is no state in the country that requires Guardian caps to be worn at any level, but Burlington Williams High School here out in Alamance County is one of the few programs here in our state that has implemented the policy for all practices that helmets are worn.
Concussions don't just happen in the pros, it's also a concern to youth too. According to the CDC, youth tackle football athletes up to ages 14 sustain 15 times more concussions than flag football athletes during a practice or game. In fact, during just one season, researchers say more than 350 children reported concussions. These numbers are used to support the importance of strict refereeing during games and the safer options like flag football programs. Yeah, as we know, this is a major step in the right direction. We talk about concussions and these blow-to-blows that can lead to depression, CTE, and even memory loss.
Yeah, and I love to see that the NFL is being the ones that are kind of steering the ship on this and kind of setting the example for the other levels of football. So hopefully we can all get them implemented at every level.
And for right now, Jalen, they're only on the outside. Like could they build that on the inside of it? I guess they could, but
the helmets would be
huge.
Yeah, it would drastically increase the size.
I'm like picturing that in my head.
But right now, so the position groups that are using these Guardian caps are the ones that are experiencing the most contact head to head. So the offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and some running backs as well.
How expensive are these helmets? Because I know the coach was saying it would be good to see it from Pee Wees all the way to the pros, but how much does something like this cost?
So I got on Guardian Cap's website and they offer different variations, but some of them start as low as $50 and some go up to $100.
Oh,
so,
okay.
It's not that,
that's
you know what I'm saying?
doable,
Exactly,
right.
it's very doable. So I think it's something that could be, that we could see more popular across the country.
Well, I saw that picture and I didn't know what that was. I'm glad you did.
Right, yeah. I'm curious, I wonder if they'll ever decide that they work so well that they will just keep using them even in games.
I mean, I think if they, like colored it like the helmets and everybody's wearing it, then,
But see, the only issue about that is the helmet is the most recognizable part of the football uniform, and that's one thing, because I know you guys saw that the teams have introduced new color schemes helmets this year,
that's a big
but
deal.
that was a very, very big deal because the NFL didn't want to tamper with the product and the brand that people can recognize.
But is it safety or is it fashion that comes first?
And they make money. They make a lot of money on helmet sales, and people even buying the little model, the Rydell ones. I mean, that's a big deal.
Maybe these caps will be the new thing, though.
Could be.
All right. Thanks, Jalen. Appreciate it. All right. Now to move on to a harder topic here. Federal health leaders say they have secured another 780,000 doses of the Monkeypox vaccine. Many could be headed to our state soon. Dr. Owl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist addressed the illness today.
The other thing we can do with the monkeypox vaccine is do what we call post-exposure prophylaxis. So what is post-exposure vaccination? This is like how we do rabies, right? You know, hey, I just got bit by a fox, and the fox was looking at me funny and was foaming at the mouth a little bit. I need to go get rabies shots. It's the same thing for this vaccine. You can do this. So if you know you've been exposed, so if you get a phone call saying, tag, you're it, I think I exposed you to monkeypox, then you can get vaccinated within 4 days of that exposure to totally prevent it.
It's an interesting way to look at it. Experts say monkeypox spreads mainly through skin-to-skin contact. Doctors say they're seeing a lot of cases tied to sexual encounters, but say it doesn't mean monkeypox is a sexually transmitted disease. Our Verify team explains.
Cases of monkeypox continue rising nationwide. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says monkeypox is currently most prevalent in urban areas among men who have sex with men. One tweet with more than 4,000 likes asks if monkeypox is a sexually transmitted disease, and data from Google Trends shows an increase in people searching for that answer. So let's verify. Is monkeypox a sexually transmitted disease? Our sources are the CDC, the World Health Organization, the National Institutes of Health, and Dr. Robert Murphy with Northwestern University. The WHO defines an STD as a disease that's transmitted predominantly through sexual contact, like herpes or HIV. There are other ways to get a disease that's considered an STD, but sex is the main way because of the exchange of bodily fluids. Monkeypox is spread through person-to-person contact, but Murphy says that doesn't have to mean sex. The CDC explains the virus can enter through broken skin anywhere on your body, the respiratory tract, mucous membranes in your eyes, nose, and mouth, or even touching clothing that came into contact with an infected person's rash. So even though monkeypox has predominantly spread among men who have sex with other men, the virus can spread among anyone who has close contact with an infected person, whether they have sex or not. So no, monkeypox is not considered a sexually transmitted disease.
The State Health Department is actually partnering with Equality NC to host a virtual town hall on the topic tonight. Health Secretary Cody Kinsley and others are expected to talk about getting checked for monkeypox, where to get tested, and find treatment. You can find a link to watch the State Health Department's website. It runs from 6:30 to 8.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A man accused of shooting a former police officer appeared in federal court today. Quentin Blocker is accused of shooting former Kernerville police officer Sean Houle. The two met in court for the first time since the alleged shooting. Investigators say Blocker shot Houle last February during a traffic stop. Officer Houle spent a month in the hospital and needed several surgeries. Since the trial is happening in a federal court, no cameras or phones are allowed in. However, we did speak with Houle after court. We'll have that story for you later on tonight. Right now, Eden police are investigating a deadly triple shooting. Eden police are investigating that deadly triple shooting. They say it happened last night at a home on Morgan Road. One person died, 2 others were hurt. Police detained several people at the scene. Right now, we don't know if one of them is the shooter. This is a developing story, and we'll keep you posted on that. If you voted absentee, you can track the status of your ballot by going to Gilbert County's website. It could take another week before we learn the true winner of Greensboro's mayoral race. Right now, incumbent Nancy Vaughn leads City Councilman Justin Outling by 425 votes. Outling says he will not concede until all the absentee mail-in ballots are counted. Gilbert County Board of Elections says those ballots must be received by the end of the day tomorrow. Once they are in, officials will conduct a final count and certify the election.
Couple of showers and storms out there this evening, just like the last few days, right? We look at the forecast for tonight. It will be partly cloudy and muggy tonight if you're lucky enough to get that shower to cool you off. That's been dropping temperatures dramatically in some cities. They're seeing going down to the mid-80s instead of these low to mid-90s we're seeing. So hopefully you get that. 73, the low tonight. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat here, 90 degrees, sun and clouds. A chance of late day storms, and as we head into the weekend, our rain chances will go on the increase because of a frontal boundary that moves over North Carolina and kind of moves slowly slowly after a while. Yeah, here's the most recent look at the heavier showers and thunderstorms, and that's really from Lexington up to High Point, and we're seeing some decent lightning along that too. So if you have to head down 85 for any reason out of Greensboro heading down toward Lexington in that area, you will run right through that storm, and that is moving to the east and southeast, so get ready for a Pleasant Garden and Randleman area also seeing some of those showers and thunderstorms. It might miss Asheboro, but if you're in the northern parts of Randolph County, you're definitely going to see some of that rain. More of this back behind. It's not major, but a scattered shower or storm is likely as we head into the evening. It's just going to be widely scattered across the area, and it's one of those situations where one city gets it and the town 6 miles away doesn't get anything at all. It's kind of what we're dealing with. Cold front moves over us for the weekend. What does that do? Brings rain chances up. We can take a look at our 7-day with that 40 to 50% chance for Friday, Saturday. Highs go from 90 tomorrow to 86 for your weekend. Sunday, best rain chance 60%. Monday, still 50%. Highs start to squeak back up though, 88 Monday. Drier for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Highs go to 89 Tuesday and low 90s for Wednesday and Thursday.
2 Wants to Know is live at the WFMY News 2 Summer Blood Drive. We call it Camp Do Good. You see, I got the campfire here, even got the s'mores going. I bet you're jealous, Chad Silber. We're going to take you through all of the donation process coming up next.
There are two things I love in this world. One is a good TV wife, and Tanya Rivera is one of those. Also, belated happy birthday to you. But also s'mores. I love s'mores. How you doing, Tanya?
I got the s'mores going for you, and also the hot dogs as well. You know, we know it's not that kind of camp, right? But it is called Camp Do Good. It is the summer blood drive, and it's called Camp Do Good because you do good when you give blood, right? And I want to talk about who can give blood, and I want to give you a look at some stats right now. I want you to check it out, the numbers. 37% of the nation is eligible to give blood. every 2 seconds someone is in need of blood. And that just kind of seems crazy when you think about those kinds of stats and those kinds of numbers, doesn't it? How is it that there is that constant need for blood in that kind of way? Well, you know what? We're going to find that out right now, because with me right now is Maya Franklin from the American Red Cross. All right, when people hear those kind of stats and they think to themselves, how can we need that much blood consistently?
Blood is needed every day for emergencies, whether that's a car accident and a victim who might need up to 100 units of blood to help them recover, or a mother who experiences complications during childbirth. Blood is also needed for patients who have cancer and may be undergoing chemotherapy. So a lot of reasons why people may need blood for an emergency, or some other individuals who have blood disorders and need blood transfusions regularly. So supplying them with the blood that they need regularly. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Right, it's so interesting too, because like blood is like one of those things, like you can't replicate it, right? We can make diamonds in a, you know, in a science lab and stuff like that, but we can't do that with blood.
We can't. It only comes from volunteer donors. It cannot be manufactured. So it takes all of us taking the time to donate, to share our health, to actually be able to meet those patient needs.
All right, if people decide, hey, I am going to come down within the next couple hours because we're here until 6, what should they expect?
They should expect to be here for about an hour from start to finish. Really want to make sure that they drink water before they come, bring an ID with them. That's one of the only things that they'll need to be able to donate. Again, that process takes about an hour from start to finish.
And a lot of times we get this question, do you have to be vaccinated to give blood?
You do not have to be vaccinated to give blood today.
But if you are vaccinated,
you are eligible to give blood. We do ask that you know the manufacturer of the vaccine that you received. So even if you did the mix and match, just tell us what those manufacturers were.
So you don't necessarily have to have your card, it's helpful, that kind of thing, but at least know which vaccines you got, and that's so that you guys can track that.
Absolutely, yes. We're working with our partners, federal agencies, and this is just another way that we can help them in ensuring the safety of our donors and those who are receiving blood transfusions.
Okay, so again, folks, you can be in one of these chairs giving blood until about 6 o'clock tonight. If you can't do that, it's not like you missed your opportunity. You can go online right now and make an appointment for any time that fits into your schedule. We have the link for you on our website. We hope that you'll put this on your to-do list for the month of August. Get it done before the kids even go back to school. Make sure you make that appointment on your calendar.
All right, you want to check this out. This is true. A gang of monkeys in Japan. They are attacking people, not even in the streets, but also in their homes. More than 50 people have been attacked, and authorities are looking for the monkeys for weeks. This, what you're seeing here is video that was posted online. That is a monkey at the door, and the lady showed this. It was looking like it's just peeping in, trying to get in there. It was posted recently. You can see he's peering through one of the windows, looking for a way to get in there. People who live in the town of Yamaguchi say the monkeys don't appear to be looking for food, and they're targeting, believe it or not, children, even babies and the elderly. Locals say now they're carrying umbrellas and tree-cutting scissors around town to protect themselves. And they did, you know, literally the police are watching this because they're seeing them in gangs. A lot of people, we were talking about this in the newsroom, like what would cause this? And someone said they had read that that the monkeys, that the reason they target the children is that they think of them, you know, little, small size like them, and it's like a territorial thing, that they're trying to protect their area, and they look at the children as threats.
COVID, inflation, and now we have monkeys attacking people. It's like, we just can't get a break.
And monkeypox.
And monkeypox. I was reading more about this, and they said in order to protect yourself, don't look them in the eye.
Yes.
Make yourself big, like opening up your coat, and then back away quickly. Without making a sudden movement. I was like, how does that happen?
Look how creepy he
Yeah,
is.
and they say that they can attack you from behind usually.
Oh my gosh.
So you got to keep your head on the swivel.
And they're in gangs. Targeting the elderly.
I'm telling you, the
and
world
children.
is coming to an end. I mean, that's what that seems like. The fact that people have to carry scissors around.
What is
to
happening?
make sure a monkey does not attack them.
I imagine.
Could you imagine if that was happening here in the
Oh
U.S.?
my gosh. Well, we had all those bears recently, but they didn't travel in gangs and take
And they
the
weren't
children.
trying to attack us. They
Right.
were just looking for food. They're not even looking for food.
Weird. They said, I heard one news anchor say, they're not looking for food, they're looking for violence. That's what she said.
My
And I said,
goodness.
That's what
are
it
you
sounds
saying?
like.
They're like criminals.
And if you look closely at their faces, like they're smiling, but
Stop.
they're anything but nice.
Yeah, the news anchor looked at the one I saw from WGN in Chicago, looked at that, and he looks like he's going, I'm coming
Yeah,
in.
like this, like.
right.
He's the scout. This guy's the scout, right?
Yeah.
He's scouting
Could you
out
imagine,
more
like,
victims.
I also read another story that one of these monkeys went through a window into a classroom with children.
Really? Oh my gosh. All right, well, we'll follow up on
Beware,
this.
folks, keep your head on a swivel.
No
the
kidding.
monkeys could be coming.
All right, let's talk about our forecast. I don't know if I can make it through this one or not. There's a chance of monkeys across the Triad. Let's look at the temperatures and see what's happening here. Greensboro at 88 degrees. We're seeing 93 in Burlington, 92 in Asheboro. You get the idea. It is hot out there. 73 will be the low tonight. Scattered clouds will still be muggy overnight and really into the next 2 or 3 days. I think through the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got to get this front through, and it kind of stalls out over our state tomorrow and definitely heading into Saturday and Sunday. But 90 degrees for tomorrow and late day thunderstorms. We'll look at the most recent line of showers and storms. Not as much lightning as we had earlier as we watched it move past Moxville and Davie County, but now that it's moving into Guilford and northern Randolph, we're seeing that anywhere from Greensboro, although it's light rain in the Greensboro area. It gets heavier as you get to High Point right there at 85. Heading south down 220, you're going to run into that rain right now if you're heading down toward Randleman or Asheboro. The majority of this might miss all of you in Asheboro, but we still have a chance, right? We go out to a wider shot and you can see it's scattered all across really eastern Tennessee, and it's moving into our state. All this moving on to the east along with a cold front. That front is the problem for the weekend because it sort of stalls out. You see it gets a little more horizontal over our state, and it takes its time to move through as we look through Saturday, Sunday. So we'll bump the rain chances up as a result. 40% chance on Friday and a high of 90, mid-80s Saturday, Sunday. We've got a 50 to 60% chance each afternoon on your weekend and into Monday. Next week, we dry out a little bit. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and warm up back to the lower 90s.
1, 2, 3. Avery Powell. Avery Prowl. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Move that box. 1, 2, 3.
Hello. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, we have a new segment. It's called Powell on the Prowl. That's going to start tomorrow.
I like that. Powell.
Hello, Avery, barefaced, no makeup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
News 2. Hello. Over half a pound of hard drugs seized in Rockingham County.
Sorry. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. When a dark, delicious cookie, okay.
Do you ever read the signs on the side of the road while you're driving? The billboards, the road signs, random signs put up by landowners? I passed one the other day near downtown Greensboro that had me thinking. It read, "Forgive them, move on." It struck me. I immediately thought back to everyone in my life who I haven't forgiven for one reason or another. There aren't a lot of them, but there's certainly a list. It goes all the way back to high school. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's sad that there are still people out there who I haven't forgiven for whatever reason. I'm confident there's at least one person in your life who you haven't forgiven. Why is that? Why do we hold on to grudges? Does it make us feel better knowing we haven't wiped the slate clean on this person? Do we think it gives us power to know we're still angry with them? What's the use? That sign got me that day. It almost made me mad that I've spent years harboring this anger toward people for something they've likely long forgotten. Then I started thinking about the people who might have their own grudges against me. I have to admit, over the years, I've done things to others that could lead them to hold a grudge against me. I'm not sure how to resolve those issues, but I can do my part to forgive the people in my life who've done me wrong. I suggest you try to do the same. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Over half a pound of hard drugs seized in Rockingham County. The sheriff's office says there was enough fentanyl to kill 139,000 people.
Wow, that's about 1.5 times the population of the county. WFMY News 2's Avery Powell spoke with the sheriff today about the problem.